Well, welcome everyone to another episode of Accounting for Old Cars, and today you join me in Tess, my 1967 Triumph Vitesse 2 litre. It is Sunday the 24th of August. Hard to believe that the summer bank holiday weekend is upon us already, which sort of marks almost the end of summer. Although I will say in East Anglia I tend to include September as part of the summer months because we get some wonderful late summers here. But today we're off to the Thorpeness Classic Car show, which is a really nice little show which is run each year in aid of the sports facilities of this village right on the coast. For those eagle-eyed among you, you may notice that Tess has a dead tachometer. I think about sort of 3 days ago it was starting to make some sort of very strange noises, and from the sound of it I think the mechanism has seized. So I've actually managed to get another one on order, which I'll swap out and then probably arrange to send this one, which is I think original to the car, to one of the specialists to get serviced, and obviously we'll be able to sort of put her back in later. But yes, it feels a bit strange not seeing the needle flipping over with the revs, but fortunately we can rely on the engine note to guide us when we need to change gear in this old car. Sort of just a general update on my little fleet of two Vitesses. Bess, my 1971 Vitesse, is performing well. She is going to need some work done to the body within the next sort of 12 or 18 months. It's quite clear that the sort of restoration work which was done to her when she was pulled out of a Scottish barn all the way back in 1999 was done in a fairly rudimentary way. I mean, good enough to actually get her back on the road and to allow her to be enjoyed for, you know, what is now 25 years, which is astonishing. But the rear tub in particular is going to need some attention, and I've really got to make a decision about just how far I go with this. I think my friend David Aspinall at Anglian Triumph Services thinks it may be simpler just to get a complete rear body tub, which is an interesting idea because it then throws up all sorts of other possibilities about, you know, whether we simply find a convertible tub and we bring her back to how she should be, whether I go for something like a saloon tub and create a sunroof saloon, which might be better for winter use, and I do tend to use Bess a lot in the winter, or go for a replica of one of the Park Lane Vitesse estates. And my suspicion is I'll simply put her back as a convertible because it, I think, financially makes the most sense. But it has given me something to think about, and I guess I'd really be interested to hear your comments in the video. But it also raises another question, which is Bess was originally factory white, and if I do go down the route of a full restoration, do I put her back to her original Coventry colour, or keep her in this sort of somewhat extraordinary shade of sage green that she is now. Yeah, so that's Bess, but she continues to perform really well mechanically. It's a very strong car and still very, very quick. The marrying of the twin SU carburetors to the Mark II cylinder head makes her extremely rapid, and yeah, she's a great car for sort of dual carriageway motorway driving. This one, Tess and I have had words recently because she has managed to spit out her latest AccuSpark electronic ignition module. I say she spat it out, it had nothing to do with the car, but rather to do with the module itself. But I've now got a spare one in the boot, so if I get stranded, at least I've got a way of getting home. But it seems to me online to be a huge debate about whether it's better to go for these sort of fit and forget electronic distributors, go for little modules like AccuSpark on the basis that they have a limited lifespan, or points and condensers. And I have to say, what I'm hearing from friends and subscribers is that actually modern condensers are increasingly unreliable, so really not sure what to do there. But in the meantime, I have recently treated Tess to a gearbox oil top up, and that is straightforward to do, but it's a faff because I have to take out the gearbox tunnel here, and taking it out is very easy, but putting it back and getting it to seal properly so you don't get the fumes from the engine bay coming into the cockpit is more of a faff. And I have to say, as the car has got older and the tunnel itself has distorted, it requires ever more layers of gaffer tape to get a proper seal. But nonetheless, this is something that I try to do sort of roughly every 6 months or so, because she is a little incontinent. But what I am rewarded with is a nice crisp change to overdrive. So with a sort of full box of oil, the overdrive engages much more sharply and responsively. I'm beginning to think that either I am very late arriving at the show, it is 11, I think it's due to start at 10, or I've got the wrong day, because I haven't seen another classic car. Right. I am also aware that we're competing with another classic car show at Ipswich today, which I am not able to go to for various reasons. So maybe everyone's gone there instead. In which case this is going to be a very short video. Here we go. Wow. Actually, we've got some very, very nice little cars, including, I can see this wonderful MGC. Yeah, that's fine, thanks. Are you all right? Good. Triumph next to a breakdown vehicle. Some would say highly appropriate. We'll have a look around the show in a second. So we're going to have a little wander around the showground in a minute. Have a look at one or two cars. It's a small show, but some really interesting examples here. I think what we'll do is we'll sort of start at one end and work our way back. So this is an astonishing vehicle. I think, to be truthful, my knowledge of steam cars is kind of restricted to watching Jay Leno's channel. Yeah, have a little look at this beautiful thing. I think there's
probably answer the phone by Friday.
An information board that we can have a look at.
Yeah, not Wednesday, not Thursday. Well, not this.
It has a wonderful smell. This is sort of smell of steam oil, which I wish I could convey here, but I just love the patina.
That's true. Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, we'll work around. Yeah, because I know what he's like.
And I think one of the things that I understand about steam engines is that every stroke is a power stroke, so really efficient way of producing torque. And of course what you've got there is not a radiator for cooling, but actually a condenser at the front. But Stanley, I think, were the foremost producers of steam vehicles here. But we'll have a little look at this information board so you can see. So I'll try and zoom in a little bit. That has to be car of a show, I think. Next to that, we then have this sort of wonderful Ford. This is a 52 sidestep. This sort of great Bugs Bunny logo. I love this. I think whenever I sort of think in terms of what a quintessential American truck would be, this is kind of what I think of. Makes me think of hot dogs and I'm ashamed to say it makes me think of hot dogs and banjos, but I don't mean that in a derogatory way. But look at this, this is just fantastic. This belongs to a friend of mine, Nick. This is the first time I've seen this, but absolutely beautiful. Great colour, this sort of primrose yellow. And then next to that, this rather stately little Morris, which has been beautifully restored. It's a thing of absolute beauty. I will just say that I noticed there's a bit of a leak from the carburettor, but fortunately that's away from the hot exhaust manifold. So according to the information sheet, this is a 1930 Cowley. And the interior is just beautiful. I mean, it's as new. I can imagine that if you lived in 1930s England, owning one of these cars must have really meant something. Beautiful. And then next to that we have this extraordinary piece of American architecture, the big Packard Super 8, and I've seen this at a number of car shows, but this is a proper American limousine. Huge headlights which sort of indicate the speed of the car. You need these enormous headlights if you're going to drive fast at night, but I would imagine supremely comfortable. Let's have a look. I also love the fact that there are twin spare wheels, perhaps sort of indicative of the state of American roads before the war. Wonderful Art Deco instrument panel. A sort of bench seat at the front in leather for the chauffeur, but then there's sort of what looks like West of England cloth interior at the back. And what I think are jump seats, and then a sort of clock for the passengers, and then dividing screen. Wonderful, wonderful car. There's also got the pull-down luggage rack or trunk rack at the back for touring. Car which we've seen before, shows an extraordinary survivor. This Mark III Cortina estate. They were so common in my childhood as family cars. TV rental companies use them because they have a sort of great boot space. And it just seems in a day and age where we're sort of dominated by SUVs, that this is a much better solution than the sort of monstrosities that sort of dominate our road now. Come round and have a little look at the front of this. A good looking car. And then we've got Tess, who is ominously parked next to Botwood's recovery vehicle. And to be honest, I could have done with Botwood's a couple of weeks ago when the electronic ignition failed, but this is such a wonderful original vehicle. Fantastic. I noticed that the logo suggests an association with Man Edgerton, who were at one time big Triumph dealers in East Anglia as well. Great car. And then a Humber Scepter. We've seen this. There's a kind of incongruity between this sort of middle class stage gentleman's saloon and the slot wheels, the sort of subversive hot rod style that's so popular with young people in the 1970s. But have a look at the interior of this if you can. Wonderful steering wheel with the typical American style horn ring, and then this great instrument cluster. Yeah, these were really the sort of flagships of the Roots group at the time. We've got another Ford truck here. We get a chance to have a look inside the engine bay of this one. So, nice little V8 engine. Great patina. So this one, earlier Primrose one, 48. Again, I love the push button radio in here. It feels very usable. See if we can have a peek inside. This is Yeah, beautiful example. Immaculate engine bay here, and yeah, I love these chrome rocker covers. I think the most striking thing about this Pontiac is actually the size of the rear window, and you sort of get a better sense of it open as it is now. Yeah, fantastic. It's a lovely Rover P3 75. I've seen this one before. This is from 1949, according to the... Next to that is a very rare car, this wonderful Rolls Royce shooting brake, which belongs to friends of mine, Nigel and Catherine, who used to own Tess back in the early 1970s. And this is a fantastic restoration, but wonderful colour. And yeah, simply beautiful. Modern custom VW, presumably on air ride. Certainly, I think one that I've never sort of seen before. Here we go. You can watch it coming up and down. That's a great party trick. I love it.
That'd be nice for your camera.
Really kind of you. Thank you. I really like that. And then this lovely little standard 8. Beautiful. This is the, I suppose, really the grandfather, if you like, of a Triumph Herald. And then a car that sort of makes me long for the 1990s, really. A luxurious, immensely practical Mercedes station wagon. Great car, and again, such a shame that these sort of vehicles don't exist anymore. Next to that, one we've seen before. So this is badged as a Mini Cooper 1300, and it's astonishing to see how much is packed into this engine bay here. From we've got this sort of little A series engine with this tiny radiator, and then twin SUs and brake servo, left-hand drive, so I'm assuming this may be an Innocenti Italian built, but yeah, great cockpit. Have a little zoom. So yeah, here we go. So Innocenti car, but now really into classic car territory. Porsche Boxster, a very affordable way, I think, into Porsche ownership now. And this is a great colour, but the one next to it, the 911 Carrera, is very much a car that reminds me of the yuppie era of the 1980s. I can't help looking at one of these and thinking of the London financial markets and places like Canary Wharf. Immaculate white leather interior, and obviously very carefully driven, and no signs of stone chips on the nose on this one. Let's give you a quick look at the Boxster as well, by contrast. This patinated Jaguar is a firm favourite of mine. I've seen this one before. Just a good old girl, and will certainly be on my take-home list. And then we've got a series of cars that I don't know a great deal about. These are Pembletons, which we've got one with a flat twin engine and one with a V-twin. Great sort of reproduction, I think based on the Citroën de Chevaux, looking at the suspension, but they really sort of evoke that pre-war racing era. And followed by a three-wheel low max. We'll just come back and have a look at the back of these cars. Yeah. Yeah, very interesting to see the different sort of variations in terms of the tail of these cars. I think this is probably about as much fun as you can have in terms of stripped down motoring. Love it. And the Lomax is obviously a cheaper alternative to the three-wheeler Morgans. Beautiful Rolls Royce Phaeton here, lovely burgundy colour. And we'll have a little look at the cockpit. Again, fantastic sort of these brass ringed instruments here. Beautiful reupholstered. Sort of wonderful stately grille. Yeah. Fantastic car. Daimler 250 with the Edward Turner V8 engine. Lovely shade of green, this one. And then beautiful, I'm trying to Wedgwood blue, the colour I was going for. TR4 with proper Surrey top. Is just lovely. Look at the array of instruments here. This one may be right at the top of my take-home list. I think she'd fit in perfectly with Tess and Bess. Debatable, but I think for me this is probably the prettiest of Michelotti's Triumph designs. And I would really love one of these. Beautiful car. then we have this enchanting little Austin, and this is probably one of the prettiest cars here. I love the badges and the sort of mascots from this era. It's lovely. Austin 8, 8 horsepower, the winged wheel, and then beautiful open tourer body with sort of olive upholstery. It's very, very simple, beautifully done. Yeah. And then these sort of artillery style wheels. And then within a matter of 20 years there's a sort of leap from this to the DS Palace. Which looks like it's sort of being dropped from the spaceship. Extraordinary lines. One of the things I like about this one is the Venetian blinds. Sort of fairly popular accessories back in the early 1970s, and I think potentially useful if you had cars following you at night. Yeah, that's exquisite. Immaculate P6 Rover V8. So it's this 3.5 litre with 3-speed automatic. Wonderful. Series 1. Let's have a little look at the interior. This wonderful strip speedo. It's just elegant dashboard, everything you need. This I think must be one of the best examples I've seen, and I love the fact that she's wearing her original steel wheels and hubcaps. Yeah, another take-home example. No show is complete without a bug, and we've got a vibrant orange and black one here with sunroof. This one's had 1 or 2 mods, I think. Aftermarket steering wheel. Yeah, great fun. And then a couple of Volkswagen buses, camper van, and then bay window. This one's beautiful actually too. Let's have a look at the interior of this. Classic big Ford Mark II Granada. It's duotone. I'm wondering if this is a gear. I'll have a look. Yeah. Again, I think this is probably a 2.8 with a 3-speed auto. We'll have a look at the boot. Granada Consort 2.3. Not one I'm familiar with before. I haven't seen that model myself, but yeah, great looking car. And then another offering from Ford of this, what I think is a Squire. Again, great little estate. I love the split tailgate on this. You sit on the back, eat your sandwiches, brew yourself a cup of tea. And obviously a derivative of the Prefect and Anglia range. Yeah, there we go, Squire. 8 Series BMW. Iconic. Again, another car that I associate with the sort of yuppie era of London financial markets. Astonishing executive express, and difficult to see inside, but this sort of magnolia hide, beautiful colour, and yeah, she really is very special. And the VX that we saw at Helmingham, which someone very kindly explained to me, was co-produced by Lotus. You can kind of see the DNA. Very nice Mark II Escort, Mark I Fiesta, an XK8 Jaguar with 4.2 litre. Again, very nice British Racing green, magnolia leather interior, and a fantastic pale walnut dashboard. The rear styling of these, I think, divides opinion, but it's one of these cars that I think gets better looking with age. And then across here we've got my friend Peter's 2.2 litre SC P6. Lovely car. And this is a common attendee of local classic car events here. Big Vauxhall straight six Cresta. Again, we've seen this one before. Very rock and roll, and it has this sort of wonderful display of the original picnic equipment and leopard print upholstery. Again, for people who love tail fins, this is one to go for. And then this MGA that we saw coming in with its striking wire wheels and white wall tyres, and here, because the owner's left the door open, we get a good view of the cockpit. It's been beautifully done. It's an absolutely fantastic restoration. So 1600 series engine. Rare to see one of these hard tops, but it's a very good looking car, and the colour particularly suits it, I think. MGB Roadster, the highly successful successor to the MGA, just here, and then the powerhouse that is the V8 engined Sunbeam Tiger, Alpine with a Ford 260 cubic inch V8. Let's have a look at this.
Rather than a lot of those houses are now size drive around there.
Literally shoehorned in. I think I'm right in saying that in order to change the rear spark plugs, you have to go in through the cabin. But what an extraordinary mating of American muscle with British styling. Again, one of Coventry's great cars. Underrated, but nowadays highly desirable. And then that's matched by a little Austin Healey Sprite. Very pretty. And And this one's for sale, so I'll just home in here so you can have a look if you want to. What looks like a very reasonable asking price. You're not going to get much more fun for that price, I think, than 1275 A-Series engine Sprite. Beautiful. Have a little look at the interior here for you.
You're seeing it already.
Yeah, that's lovely. I'm never a fan of de-bumpered cars, but actually this really suits it. And yeah, nice example. And then we've got another MGB. I'm just going to check this isn't the V8. Oh, that's lovely.
I think it would be.
Very nice.
It's not going to overheat.
And we'll just come around the side here for something altogether more impressive. That is extraordinary. Look at the workmanship that's gone into the dashboard and the door cappings. Upholstery is absolutely gorgeous. Flawless paintwork. And yeah, fantastic Rolls Royce. So I'm guessing this one we're looking at sort of very late 20s, possibly 1930. But wonderful, wonderful car. MGB GT, again, good looking cars. I don't think they're, in my opinion, they're not as good looking as the obvious competitor, the Triumph GT6, but Farina styled, nice Webasto roof, and 1800cc and overdrive. Hi, you alright? Very nice example, again de-bumpered. This, I think, looking at the registration, would have been one of the original rubber bumpered cars, one of the last, I should say, rubber bumpered cars, which has obviously been adapted to give it a much cleaner look. Very, very nice. Then we've got Austin Mini Cooper, Morgan, and then a Corvette Stingray, and yeah, look at this. I think these cars were sort of leased at one time to the crews of the Apollo space mission. A clever bit of GM marketing. So I think people like Buzz Aldrin et al. Were given these to sort of cruise around in, sort of Cape Canaveral. But yeah, fantastic. So the next one that we've got is this little MGF. In fact, we've got a pair of those. So here is sort of modern K-Series engine classics, so these are 1.8 litre. Kind of competitors to the Mazda MX-5s, but I don't think they really had the kind of reliability, or maybe perhaps not quite the drivability of the Mazdas, but good looking cars, and you know, very worthy classics in their own way. And then we've got this sort of predecessor, the MGB, this one from about 1978-79, rubber bumpered. Rover 100 P4. Beautiful. 6-cylinder, sit up and beg.
So Kate, when we were going to infant school,
Sort of car that reminds me of family GPs and bank managers.
she was sitting near the window, so she
Another
sat near the window.
Ford Capri, and then this beautiful
Not that car.
Mercedes SL. These are beautiful cars.
Before and after. No, we were running the centre.
And yeah, wonderful design features. These sort of rib lower doors, which I think were designed to stop the mud sort of coming up the bodywork, and then echoed in the tail lights here. Yeah. Beautifully understated
When it went.
design, and it just has that sort of aura of Teutonic build quality. Great number plate as well on this one. Another bay window camper, and then an impressive Bentley red label. Serious high performance limousine. I'll have a little look at this one. So this is the Turbo R from 91 according to the blurb. 6.75 V8 and currently for sale. Beautiful interior, and this sort of Connolly hide. Lovely colour. But I will be honest and say that the car that I really prefer, more my style perhaps, is this little 1965 Morris Minor convertible. Look at this. I think we saw this again at Friston earlier this year. She has a name which may, if I'm right in my memory, be Daisy. But whatever her name is, she is absolutely lovely. And then the magnificent Javelin. A car that few people have heard of nowadays. Built in Bradford, Yorkshire. Flat 4. Fantastic. And
So was there
so I'm just reading the spec there. Again, this is 1950. Wonderful family car. And I come round
Yes, and that was what I had.
the back, you can see the original tool tray. The sound you're hearing is the steam car. We'll go back and have another look perhaps.
We always used to provide the window.
But she is beautifully streamlined. And then one that we've seen before, this brute of a petrol injected 2.5 litre straight 6 TR6 from 1974.
So yours looks like yours is not finished. Is yours finished? No, that's
Proper serious sports car. Lotus S3, Norfolk's own supercar, and then this wonderful cloverleaf Alfa Romeo GTV 2000. One that I saw here at least a year, maybe 2 years ago. Such a rare car now is little Volvo. I can not remember the model. This is a 480 turbo, that's right, yeah. A sort of fastback. This one from about 1990. Fantastic. Little Ford saloon. And 1960s console. Cortina Mark 1. Again, such a pretty design. Very simple, basic design. Remember the iconic CND or band bomb rear tail lights. And for those of an agricultural bent, we have a Fordson Major, little Leyland. Straight out of Canley, a little Ferguson Tractors built by Standard and originally powered by the four-cylinder petrol engine which found its way into the early TRs and Standard Vanguard. Another lovely Fordson Major, and then this enormous, but not by modern standards, David Brown.
Take a look at yourself before you accuse me. Take a look at yourself.
One of the other cars I wanted to have a quick look at was this lovely standard Vanguard here, which this is a phase 2. I noticed the badge proudly advertises it has overdrive on it, but you know, for me this is a quintessentially 1950s car, and really one of the last of the Sir John Black era cars out of Canley. A beautiful example, and yeah, immaculate paintwork and really good chrome. A little bit of patina, but you can see on the front here the standard badge, which was sort of later. Adopted for the Triumph mark, but she's lovely. Big bench seat, column change. I have a feeling these were 4-speed, I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, lovely example. And then the other one which caught my eye was this Fintail Mark II Zodiac, which I think again we've seen in one or two other videos of mine, but this is a beautiful example. Ford straight 6, lovely car, and yeah, wonderful balance profile. Just enough sort of chrome detail here. Again, Wolsey 1500, sort of based on the Morris Minor platform, but a sporting version. Well, I say sporting version, luxury version. The sporting version was ready for Riley, but this with its lovely duotone paintwork and little illuminated grille badge. A very middle class family car, sprung steering wheel and wooden dashboard. This is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Couldn't leave without just giving you a glimpse of this wonderful Rolls Royce shooting brake. Which is just the most beautiful car. Perfect form of transport for someone on a shooting party. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this little day out today at Thorpeness Car Show. A great example of a typical English little village show. Lots of different cars to have a look at. Obviously much smaller than some of the bigger shows we've been to, but nonetheless just as enjoyable for me. Great chance to catch up with old friends and to have some really great conversations. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. In the meantime, I'm off to grab a well-earned cup of coffee, so take care. To answer my earlier question, I'm late. Very late.